Hey guys, Crystal Thompson here for Studio Katia. Today we are creating a super fun way of a bright white, a double masking, oxide shaped mass floral card. Let's try to repeat that again. We're going to be using the Studio Katia Creative Dies and Kind Bouquet Dies, which is the coordinating dies for the Kind Bouquet. We're going to use the flowers, the kindness, and thank you for your. To do the distress, we're going to be using distress oxides in chip sapphire, vintage photo, and dried marigold. I know this is, you're going, what are we going to do? And because we're using that chip sapphire, we're going to be using the Studio Katia midnight blue crystals along with our little tray and our Studio Katia glue. Let's get started. All right, guys, so we are going to begin with our card panel. I like to start my cards on a card panel and not the card base directly. We are going to use a Kind Bouquet die, so I have pre-cut both for my flower and my kindness stamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some removable adhesive. This is from Tombow. You can use any removable adhesive you would like. Everybody has one right now. So whatever you prefer, you are welcome to do that. So we're going to place our die and we're going to set this aside. We're actually going to stamp on that. So once our die is, our die cutout is ready to go, we are going to begin by blending the edges. So we're going to start with that chipped sapphire. And when you're working with a mask image, you want to dab instead of pull up, but you'll end up with color in the bottoms. So we're going to ink up, and I'm using just a makeup brush, and we're going to just continue to blend. You know, if you're ever looking for color blending combinations, Pinterest is a great resource. The Studio Katia YouTube channel does have a ton of different oxide blends and different color blends. The team does a great job about using all sorts of colors. You don't have one color combination for all your cards. So we're going to really get this chip sapphire in, because this is really the main color for this card, considering we're using those midnight blue crystals. All right. So we have that blended in. We are going to clean off our brush, and I like to do this with a sheet of paper towel and really get the excess off, and then clean it off with a moist baby wipe, and then dry it off with my paper towel. All right, next up for the color blending, we have vintage photo. This is a really pretty brown. We're going to grab the color on the top part of our brush, and then I'm going to twist this around so I don't block your view of how the blending ended up. So we're going to start in a circular motion with the top of that brush, and then we are going to flip this over and then do it on this side. And then just keep blending up about midway there. Last but not least, we are going to start with our dried marigold. This is kind of an orangey yellow, and this will be really fun. Here it goes. So we're going to start blending up. We're going to come back to this side and then blend up. And you do not have to use distress oxides. You could just use your regular dye inks or anything that's a little bit of a slower drying process. So you do not have to have it all, even though we want to, right? Okay, so we have our blending done. We're going to go ahead and grab our spritzer, and we're going to spritz the entire thing. And this will just make it look a little bit lighter, not so blended. We're going to let that dry. You can pick up any extra water with that paper towel we were using earlier. Really pretty. I just want to make sure the whole thing is nice and dry. And then we're gonna lift up the mask and we're ready to stamp the flower from KIND Bouquet. Okay friends, this is nice and dry. We're gonna begin by stamping. I'm gonna bring over my KIND Bouquet stamp and I'm gonna bring ink pad to stamp so I make sure that I got everything. We're gonna really layer up this ink. You can totally stamp this with the stamp positioner. If I was a little wiser, I'd probably do that, but I like to wing it, right? We gotta live on the edge. So we're gonna try to match those die cuts and edges. We're gonna press down, rock a little bit. Wanna get a clear, crisp image after all our beautiful blending. And ta-da, look how pretty that is. All right, before we put our ink away, we're gonna do the kindness, and I'm gonna hold off on the thank you for, and the reason why is I wanna be sure where I'm gonna place my kindness stamp. So I'm gonna ink the kindness up, and then I'm gonna stamp it over the die. And we have kindness. And now I'm gonna try to figure out where do I want to put thank you for. So I think I'm gonna keep it down here. I'm gonna step closer to the flowers. This is a really nice clean font, so it's gonna be really pretty. All right, got thank you for your kindness. And then we're gonna add foam adhesive to the back of kindness and attach it. All right, friends, so I have kindness. I have some foam adhesive on the back of this, and I'm just gonna place this slightly overlapping the florals and that gorgeous ink blending. Last but not least, I have my Midnight Blue crystals and I have my Studio Cadia glue. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a couple drops to this bottom part, a couple drops to the top, and then a couple drops where it blended. We could even add one down here. And that way you can see where you're gonna place your crystals. And then also you can allow it to be a really good base for sticking your crystals, because those are a little bit heavier. You really want it to grab onto that adhesive. So I am using the Studio Cadia little tray. This is so fun because one, it serves to hold your sequins or any of your embellishments, and then two, when you need to put them back on the packaging, it makes it super easy because you can just like drop them in. All right, guys, and that does it. We have our embellishments put up. We have the gorgeous non-coloring roses. It's just super, super pretty and really easy, and a great way to do a non-coloring card and do masking on your images. Thanks so much for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up if you like this tutorial. And if you make something inspired by this, be sure to tag us so we can give it a look. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.